Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Dr. Seema Jain, and if you have been active in the market, you must have seen that market suddenly fell. It went very nicely up and up and up, and then there was a sudden fall. So the question today is why Nifty and Bank Nifty fell today. And the question is not a very simple question. It has to do a lot with what was happening in the international market, what was happening in currency. And there was a piece of news which came in the morning, which was about India's fiscal deficit. So these are the three things which actually, and then the fourth point that I would say was that the Nifty and Bank Nifty reached a very crucial level. Nifty just touched 16,000, whereas Bank Nifty touched 34,400. Those were pretty crucial levels for both of them, and hence the fall came in. The fall was more fundamental than any other. So let's go and understand what kind of impact does Rupee has and what can be expected. So I'm going to study with you how weaker rupee will impact stock market and Indian economy. And then we're going to study the impact of this on the Nifty and Bank Nifty. So Indian rupee touched at all-time high. There was a crucial level of 77. Let me just show you. The currency level was here. This is how USD INR chart looks like. And this was a very, very strong crucial level of about $77, 77 rupees to a dollar. And this got broken in on 8th of March. No, it got broken on 9th of May. And after that, the index has been just heading up. And what is being expected by the experts that it may touch 80 or 81. It's a really alarming situation. So why is it so important for us to track the Indian rupee? And even if you have a look at the graph of Dow Jones, it was like there was nothing happening because US market was closed yesterday, but today since morning it has been almost in a downward direction, and this impacted the fall in the Bank Nifty combined with the rise in the currency. And there was one more news piece that was got combined, and that is how we saw such a massive fall. So every time Indian rupee, moves by 5%, every 5% fall in the rupee adds about 10 to 15 BPS to the inflation. So what does a weaker rupee mean for the Indian economy? What impact comes on the Indian economy? That is what we're going to understand, and we're going to understand with respect to Nifty and Bank Nifty also. So for the first time, the Indian rupee crossed 77 that I told you, and now it is standing above 79, which is a very sharp increase. Retail inflation in March neared 7% mark, and largely reflecting the impact of geopolitical spillovers, and a Reuters poll that suggested that it can surge about 7.5% in April. Then the next point is widening trade and current account deficit. Heavy foreign fund outflows and a strengthening US dollar have pulled the currency down nearly 4% this year. So the biggest impact of a weakening rupee is on the inflation, given Indian imports more than 80% of the crude oil, which is the biggest imports that India does. I would like to show you how ONGC have done. It has fallen from such a height in last couple of days. After making a high of 157, it touched even 125. Almost huge amount of drop has come, almost like 20% drop has come in the price of ONGC. So the oil marketing companies have been badly impacted because of the weak rupee and strengthening of US dollar. The next point that we have in mind is while a weak rupee makes import costlier, it has some benefit for market. Are exporters more competitive in theory? Now, I am just going to show you one news that came in today morning. It says that the trade deficit jumps to record 25.63 billion in June. So if you read here, exports are in June are 37.94 billion, imports are 63.58 billion, deficit is 25.63 billion. So this is the foreign currency that is deficit, that we don't have, right? Petroleum products, top exporters. What are the top exporters? Petroleum product, electronic goods, ready-made garments. And then top imports, these are the top exports. Top imports are basically petroleum and crude products, coal, coke, briquettes, and gold. These are the imports. So June non-oil, non-gold imports were about 31.71%. Now see, as I said with the beginning of the video, that what is the implication of rising USD on the Indian's economy, and how will it reflect in the Nifty and Bank Nifty falling down. So if you understand, Nifty and Bank Nifty are nothing but the reflection of Indian economy. As we know that every time dollar becomes strong or the rupee becomes weak, the inflation goes up. Inflation goes up, borrowing cost goes up, and all the goods that are used in daily, that goes up. Petrol prices goes up, and all the FMCG products will go up. The cost of products will go up. So all of it impacts the Indian economy. And Indian Bank Nifty and Nifty is nothing but the reflection of Indian economy. Because the rupee is becoming weaker day by day, banks will also, the cost of borrowing from the banks will go up, right? More and more people may not borrow money from the bank. It's a vicious cycle that will continue, and the profitability of banks may go down, and hence the banks will be impacted, and hence the Bank Nifty had a big fall. So it's a very, very big chain of events that take place. It's a huge role that all the global, and geopolitical global news which plays on the Indian economy, and definitely the impact of rupee becoming weaker, dollar becoming stronger, and all the international factors remaining negative has impacted today's fall. So if you're aware of the market's dynamics, what changes market, what could be the impact, like if you're tracking, if you want to trade in Bank Nifty, you must track Dow Jones, you must track the crude, you must track the rupee dollar index, and you must track international scenario. All of it put together can give you a good idea what lies ahead, and you can make good money out of it. So impact today came from INR becoming weaker with respect to USD, Dow Jones falling down from a great height, breaking the long-term support, and then this was the impact why Nifty and Bank Nifty fell, and precisely they fell right after 12:15. In fact, the moment European markets opened, Nifty and Bank Nifty had a massive fall. So factors I have explained you: weakening rupee, fiscal deficit, Dow Jones weak, European markets weak, rupee weak. All these factors put together has brought the market down. So if you want to trade in Nifty, Bank Nifty, more than indicator, more than anything, you need to know international scenario. Keep learning, keep earning, and remain tuned with us. We'll keep bringing out some good stuff for you every day. Take care. See you in the next video.